Hi everyone, welcome back to Sketch Lab for Kids. Today we're creating a fun and easy doodle scratch art using oil pastels and Tempera paint sticks. This beginner-friendly tutorial will show you how to make your own DIY scratch paper and create vibrant, colorful doodles with simple techniques. Scratch art is a great way to explore textures, patterns, and creativity while making bold and exciting designs. So let's grab your supplies and let's get started. So I'm using oil pastels, and what we want to do is we want to establish a ground with no white spots. Why is that? Well, because when we do the black Kwik stick over the top of this oil pastel, it will stick to the white paper and it will not scratch off. So the Kwik stick will only scratch off of the oil pastel. So you see this? That's not going to be good. Yeah, if all those white spots, if you try to use the side of it, and you can't. It's not going to be very good scratch art paper. So you got to make sure you color nice and solid. And now I'm just going to go in the order of the rainbow. So I got my red, my orange, yellow, green. And scratch art is a lot of fun when you use all the different colors. So doing a rainbow background is always a great option for scratch art. Okay, next up, these are Kwik sticks, and for art teachers, you can actually buy these in 12 packs if you're going to do this with your class. And these are scratch sticks. You could use a toothpick, but these are the best. These are dotting tools, and the dotting tool, the tip on it is rounded so it doesn't tear through your paper, and it scratches smooth. It's very awesome. So here's an example of a scratch art paper I've already done. This is another doodle art example. So what is a doodle? A doodle is a symbolic drawing. We draw with shapes and symbols. So when you first learn how to draw, you might think of drawing things from your imagination using some basic shapes and symbols. So when using the Kwik sticks, instead of putting black over the entire paper first, we're only going to do the top section here. Why is that? Well, it's because when the Kwik stick completely dries, when it scratches, it comes off more like a skin. So you can actually, while it's still a little bit wet, that's when it's best to scratch into, and you can get a lot more detail, and you're not going to have any like peeling. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the top, maybe 1/4 of the paper. Like I said, while this paint stick is still wet, that's when I'm going to start scratching. And sometimes with other scratch art papers, you have to press. You don't have to press hard. Look at that; it just glides through the Kwik stick. So if I imagine a pizza, I would think maybe a rectangle and then a triangle, and then maybe I'm thinking if I have pepperonis on it, maybe I'd use circles. And so this is a symbolic drawing. It's not the way a pizza really looks in real life. It's not a realistic looking one, which would be representational. And I'm going to add a little face on this. Add a little 2 dots and a little smiley face. And that's why doodles are so much fun, is because you can actually draw from your imagination using basic shapes. So for this top row, I decided, you know what, I'm going to do a food theme. So sometimes using a theme also kind of helps you out with your ideas. So if I'm drawing from my imagination, maybe it makes it easier for me now. So maybe this next one I'll do a popsicle. So I'm going to do a line that curves up. And then I'm also going to have a thin cucumber shaped oval for the stick. Maybe I'm going to do some wavy lines. So maybe it's dipped in something like chocolate. And then I'm going to go in and add an expression. So this is kind of like a little kawaii style expression. Maybe this guy has a brain freeze or something. And then for my last food item, maybe I decide I'm going to do a cupcake. So maybe I see the bottom of the cupcake as a trapezoid. And then maybe in my mind I see the frosting as ovals that get a little bit smaller, and then at the top, I'm going to make it like a shark fin. maybe some lines down on the liner. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead back in with the Kwik stick, and then I'm going to go maybe down halfway on my paper with the Kwik stick. And for this next row, I'm going to create doodles with abstract shapes. So as you know, we have geometric shapes. We also have organic shapes that represent living things. And then abstract shapes are shapes that we just come up with. So I'm just using some wavy lines, some zigzag lines. And I wasn't thinking about what I was creating. I just let this happen right in the moment. I'm going to add a little expression on this. So it's a little bit like music, how sometimes you might have a musician improvise. They're just going to start playing something in the key of C, and whatever happens in that moment, it happens. So same thing here. I have no idea what I'm creating. I'm just going to go in with some wavy lines. And now at the bottom, I'm going in with some zigzag lines. And once again, that's an abstract shape. And I'm going to add a little face onto this guy. So sometimes you can make your own original doodle characters just by using abstract shapes. And now I'm going to use some little repetition of line here, some wavy lines in my character too. I'm going to do one more abstract doodle, little character. So you can see I'm going with the zigzag lines first. Maybe this whole character I'm just going to do zigzag lines. This guy's got a smiley face, his tongue is sticking out, so he's a little bit silly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some more of the Kwik stick down. So the reason why I'm doing this is because it scratches way better when it's still wet. And by the way, these Tempera sticks, they dry in 90 seconds. They dry very fast. So if you were to do your whole paper, like I said, by the time you got down halfway, they would start peeling. So it'd still scratch, but just not as good. So this one here, I decided, you know what, I'm going to do some clouds with a rainbow. Add a little smiley face onto these guys. So I started off with some geometric shapes to create some food items. Then I went to abstract shapes. And then organic shapes are basically shapes of living things. So maybe this next one I'll draw a bird. I want to make it maybe a little bit like an angry bird. So I'm going to kind of give it like that little bit of a gumdrop shape, egg shape. Give it some hair on top, a little tail. Maybe I'll give him some wings. Draw a little triangle for a beak. Then we'll add the eyes in. Maybe add some repetition of line here. And the wings, and then the hair and the tail. Now I'm going to do my last part of my paper. Fill that in with the Kwik stick. And when you're done with your Kwik stick, make sure you twist. It's like a glue stick, right? You got to put your lid back on it. You can twist it back down. So here's one. Here's maybe like an insect. So I'm going to do like a little oval, add some wings. Add a little face on this guy. And for this one, I decided, you know, a flower. This is a symbolic flower, so just a circle for the center and do some oval shaped petals. Maybe I can do a little happy smiley face on my flower. Then I'm going to go in and add a little pattern. So scratch art is so much fun. It's so satisfying. It's definitely engaging. So today we learned how to do our own DIY scratch art paper with oil pastels and Tempera paint sticks. And we also learned how to doodle using different shapes. So we have geometric shapes, we have abstract shapes, we also have what are called organic shapes. And we can just draw from our imagination. That's what's so much fun about Doodle. There's really no wrong way to do it. Well, thanks for creating scratch art with me, and I hope you had fun making your own DIY scratch paper and doodling colorful designs. Check out my scratch art playlist for more creative ideas, and I'll see you next time. Keep creating and stay inspired. Bye.